Hello and welcome to On the Kerbs. I'm your host, Team Albers Daily. Joining me this week is another guest who's been in before, Driving Bex. Bex has also made it into the Formula Woman final, and we thought this would be a good enough excuse to have a quick chat about what that feels like, how her life has changed thanks to Formula Woman, and which two sports she'd love to combine. So, without any more further ado, let's get straight into it. I hope you enjoy our conversation. Hi Becca, thanks for being here today. First of all, how are you?
Thank you very much for having me back again. Obviously didn't embarrass myself too much the first time round then.
Not too bad, no. Or just enough that everyone wanted to see more of you.
Exactly, being laughed at, not with.
And I mean, no one's going to be laughing at you, I don't think, this time, because you've achieved something that a lot of people haven't been able to do, and that is you've become a Formula Woman finalist. So first question, how the heck does that feel?
Incredible. I still remember getting the email. It was only a few days before Christmas, and I think regardless of whatever amazing Christmas presents I have in the future, that will always be the best one.
It's going to be a hard one to beat, that's for certain.
100%.
I say, were you on your own when you found out? Were you with people, or were you screaming at one end of the house and then everyone was like, "Oh God, what's happened?"
I got the email at 8 o'clock in the morning. So I literally just woken up, did it the first thing that everybody does, and checked their phone. Saw an email from Graham, had to kind of wipe my eyes a second to make sure I was actually reading it correctly. And then obviously it was a scream the house down. Oh God! Quick, come here.
I'd say they were fairly chuffed for you, were they?
They were, absolutely.
I was going to say then, aside from the obvious one that we've just addressed, what's been your favourite moment from this Formula Woman journey so far?
See, I had to answer this as well for one of the media profiles, and it's a really tough one because the whole journey has been so incredible that finding just one particular memory to stand out is near enough impossible. But as a broad overview, I'd say definitely the people that I've met along the way. I have met some of my best friends, some incredible people in the industry as well, and there's been memories that I will never forget.
I was going to say, I was interviewing Isla as well, as she's part of the 550, and saying about, she was saying something similar, like, you two thick as thieves, essentially.
Yes.
It was quite a good friendships come out of that one. It's great to see that bonding experience that who knows if you would have even met if it wouldn't have been for the competition. So it's just wild to see that regardless of how far into it you get, you've got these long-lasting friendships out of it.
Exactly. The universe has a weird but wonderful way of working out.
Definitely. And again, as well, with that community aspect of it, is great to see as well for everyone else, because even the women that didn't get through to the final rounds of it, a lot of them, in any of the competition, you'd maybe think they'd be not necessarily not supportive of everyone else, but you wouldn't necessarily expect this level of it because they're just all so pumped for you, but they're obviously a little bit disappointed themselves that they didn't get there, but they're not letting that hold them back in being supportive of everyone else. And then there's things that they're trying to do themselves and keep their foot in the door with motorsports in lots of ways that a lot of them still get to do. And it's just this whole community aspect just keeps going.
Definitely. And following on from that as well, even down to the whole aspect of Formula Women was to open doors to this community for women in motorsport, because a lot of women that kind of feel a little bit shy in the male industry have held back for so long. And this has opened that world up to everyone. And not only have we introduced ourselves to the male world, but also we have our own little female community, which I think has been so supportive to one another, whether we get through or whether we don't. We're all there to help each other and guide each other through this journey because we're all in the same journey together.
And you're all in one way or another kicking ass along the way. So it's not like you're not meant to be there in some way. You're definitely all proving your worth in that respect. And again, that's what you want from this as well. You don't want just to have that to be making up the numbers or just for the sake of doing it. You want to prove that you earned the spot there, and you all definitely have.
Exactly. Girl power.
So on the flip side of that, what's the biggest challenge you've had to overcome so far, do you reckon?
I would say it's more personal. So my self-belief. I started this journey off in a very negative relationship where I lost my sense of self-belief and worth. And again, with Formula Woman, if it wasn't for them and wasn't for the whole Driving Bex media, I don't know where I would have been at this point and whether I would have had the strength to sort of build myself back up and become the person I am today, because without all of that support and that sort of drive and motivation, that has kept me going, and it's made me realize that I am worthy. I'm driving back, essentially. It's just kind of brought my confidence up from a place that I literally had no confidence. So that was one of the biggest challenges. But again, it's not necessarily a challenge with Formula Woman, but it's a challenge in life that Formula Woman has helped.
I can say if it wasn't there, you don't know how far along in that process you would be necessarily otherwise. So it's definitely a help.
Still be there, not believing in myself, but I am a completely different person to who I was a year ago, and I have Formula Woman to thank for that.
Okay, it's great to see that as well, because like you say, you never want to be stuck in any kind of negative situation like that for too long. And if you can get out of that and you can thrive like you clearly have been, I mean, it's just been going from strength to strength from what we've been seeing on you on social media. So it's been great to watch that progress.
Yeah, my life has turned into a dream, really. This is what I've dreamt of for years and years and years. So sometimes I still have to pinch myself.
And like you said earlier, the universe has a funny way of working out sometimes.
It really does.
So then, you touched on it briefly earlier, but how much has this opportunity with Formula Women meant to you? And what would you say to any other women who might want to take part if this happens again in the future?
For me, when I entered Formula Woman, I saw that they wanted people good with media as well. And because I'd previously run a chocolate business during lockdown, my whole way of working that was through social media. This is my opportunity to do something I've always wanted to do and put myself out there in an automotive media situation. And I had experience from the chocolate business that I could utilize. So I started the whole Driving Bex Instagram, which then led on to TikTok, which then led on to YouTube. And it's kind of become a bit of a brand. So people now know me as Driving Bex, not Becca, which is still quite bizarre. I have been recognised.
I'm going to change it under the video in a bit and just like, it's not Becca Taylor, Driving Bex. That's who the interview's with. No, but who Becca Taylor is.
Who is she? But yeah, that whole media aspect has opened so many opportunities. It's changed my career into a career that I had always dreamt of but never thought was possible. I get incredible opportunities to drive these amazing cars on track, to do these incredible car reviews, make content with some awesome people that I saw as these admirers that I watched on YouTube and watched on Instagram and thought, these are the type of people I want to be. And there I am stood next to them making a video with them, and it's really bizarre. And but that's it really is, yeah.
So it's kind of it's snowballed quite a bit out of that, and the opportunity. You didn't necessarily think that just by entering this competition that you would get so much out of it. That not that it's related to it as such, but it's not directly related to it either. It's just kind of spun out of this. It's wild.
Yeah. So I always believe that obviously if you start an automotive YouTube, there's lots of people that do it and have done it, but because I had the Formula Woman journey and because I had that story and reason for it all, I believe it gained traction a lot quicker, because I wasn't just another wannabe trying out automotive YouTuber. I was doing it for this purpose and I had this goal in mind. And it wasn't just here's a car review. It's my journey along this whole trying to make it as a racing driver, trying to make it in the automotive world as a female.
So it's like you said, you've got the opportunity to do this thing with Formula Woman, and then whilst you've got people's attention anyway, you can say, oh, also, I quite like this, or look at my love for Lotus over here, and kind of trick them into it a bit, into getting involved and getting invested, and they have.
Exactly. And I was looking the other day, and overall the 3 platforms, I've now got over 20,000 followers and subscribers, and it's just, yeah, it's mind-blowing.
I realise I'm doing that, and this is an audio thing, so people can't see that, but I didn't mind blowing things there. So.
Get the little emoji to pop up.
Yeah. A couple of fun questions, as always, to finish off. Then it wouldn't be an interview with me if we didn't have these. So,
of course.
If you could merge 2 sports together, which 2 would you choose, and what do you think would happen?
Oh, I'm gonna go with, because obviously motorsport, because it's what I do now, and I'm going to go netball, because anyone that knows a fun fact about me, I tried for England netball when I was 16, so I have a big history in netball. I still trying to get back into it a little bit this year just for fun, because I have really missed it. Way of thinking, I'm kind of got the idea of like how they did the car football, but maybe with netball somehow. maybe
Yeah,
that
I was thinking either that or they're leaning
people-
out the windows, throwing the balls to
yeah,
each
maybe
other.
convertible cars, so you can reach up
Yeah.
and
I'm going to say, it's the hoop otherwise. How are you getting it up? You're going to have to hit that at the right angle to get that up otherwise. But
I'm gonna say convertible cars. You've got two people, so you've got a driver and you've got like your co-driver, and they've got to have the ball because obviously safety. The driver needs two hands on the wheels, and then you've got them, and they can shoot with a convertible car. You can get into the net.
I have an extreme version where it's demolition derby cars, so they only need the one driver. Then it doesn't matter if it goes.
Free for all.
And then final question, which I feel like, and correct me if I'm wrong here, but I feel like it would be appropriate for you. If you had to join the circus, what kind of performer would you be?
Oh, that is a tough one. I'd love to say some kind of trampoline gymnastic kind of thing, just because it's something I'd always love to have a go at because I find it really fascinating. But 9 times out of 10, I end up with hilarious stories that are just surreal and shouldn't really happen, and people laugh at me. So maybe something like that, like a clown kind of thing.
So you start off with the aim of doing the trampoline stuff, and you end up somehow getting fired out of the cannon.
Yeah, so like last time I went on a trampoline, I sprained I partially tore 9 of the ligaments in my ankle without even making it onto the trampoline. So
that's impressive in all the wrong ways.
Yeah, and the story gets worse because it was on a first date as well, and we ended up in A&E. So
memorable.
Exactly. I have an interesting set of luck.
I was saying, a very unique selling point.
Yes, very. It makes a good story.
Yeah. Well, it's been a pleasure chatting with you as always. I want to wish you best of luck with the rest of the competition. Keep fingers crossed for you and see how that goes. And I'll stick all your socials down in the description below for everyone to follow if they're already not. And I don't know why they wouldn't be, but just in case. And yeah, best of luck with everything. Thanks for being here.
Thank you ever so much, and thank you for having me on again.
Thanks again, Becca, for coming on to the Kerbs with me. It's always a good laugh, and I wish you the best of luck for the rest of the Formula Women competition. Join me again soon when I'll be chatting to another famous face from the world of motorsport. In the meantime, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and check out the other videos on the On the Kerbs YouTube channel. You can also listen to me talk about Formula One, amongst other things, over on the Undercut podcast, also on YouTube. Away from YouTube, you can follow me over on Instagram at t.albers.daily.onthekerbs. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you again next week for the next episode.